Welcome. I'm Charles Schwartz. I am chair of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering here in the Clark School at the University of Maryland. And I am pleased that you're considering attending our program here in College Park next year. Let me give you some quick facts about our Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. It's a medium-sized department. We have 30 full-time faculty and about another dozen part-time lecturers, mostly drawn from local industry. We have 400 undergraduates and award about 125 to 140 degrees each year. We're among the more diverse departments within the Clark School of Engineering. Our undergraduate student body has about 1/3 women, about 20%, 20 to 25% underrepresented minorities, and about 7% international students. And it's a high quality program. The latest US News and World Report's rankings of civil engineering programs put us at 23rd in the US and 16th among public institutions. So why are you considering Maryland and the Clark School? The Clark School is a highly selective school for admissions. It's hard to get into. What does this mean for you? Well, it means that a high reputation for your degree. It means quality faculty, excellent facilities and programs, and high graduation rates. Our graduation rate in engineering is among the highest of all of the colleges here at College Park. But the most important thing about the Clark School and about our department is that you're going to be surrounded by high quality, interesting, creative, and engaged fellow students. This is really the key thing when choosing a college. You're going to be spending far more time with your fellow students than you are with the faculty. You're going to be taking classes with your students. You're going to be in study groups with them. You'll be in student clubs. You'll be doing intramural athletics. You'll be dining with them. You'll be hanging out. You'll be socializing. You're going to spend a lot of time with them. You're going to learn a lot from them. Arguably you're going to learn as much, if not more, from your fellow students than you do from the faculty. So you want to be surrounded by high quality fellow students, and we have that here in the Clark School and in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. So why major in civil and environmental engineering of all of the other engineering disciplines? Well, think about it. When you go to the supermarket, the roads and the bridges that you travel over were designed and built by civil engineers. When you get to the supermarket, the structure and the foundations were designed by civil engineers, and the construction was supervised by civil engineers. When you get home to make dinner and turn on the tap, the water that comes out of that tap, the clean water that comes out of that tap, comes from water treatment plants and distribution systems that were designed and built and operated by civil engineers, civil and environmental engineers. And the water that goes back through the drain goes back to those same water treatment plants that were designed by civil and environmental engineers. Even when you go on vacation, should we ever go on vacation again after the pandemic, but think about running through an airport, the terminal building. Again, the structures, the foundations, the construction, that's all the work of civil and environmental engineers. The pavements and the runways and the taxiways, that's all civil engineers. The fact of the matter is that the work of civil engineers touches each and every one of us in significant ways every single day. The infrastructure that civil engineers design and build make modern society, and particularly modern urban society, possible. A couple of other key points about civil and environmental engineering. We build things, that's our business. We build things, and we build big things usually. We're not building little chips, we're building skyscrapers and long span suspension bridges and stadiums and big things. And these things have long product lives, long service lives. They also often impact very heavily on public health and safety. And this is one of the reasons why civil engineers, more than any other engineering discipline, get professional licenses in the same way that medical doctors get licenses. It's because of our responsibility for public health and safety in the projects that we design. So that's civil and environmental engineering. Why study it here at Maryland? Well, we think we've got a pretty good program. It's a broad program. It gives exposure to all of the 6 major sub-areas of civil engineering: structures, geotechnical engineering, water resources, environmental, transportation, and project management. It's a high quality program. Our students consistently score well above the national average in the fundamentals of engineering exam that most of our seniors take as the first step toward getting a professional license. And our graduates are highly sought by employers. Every time I go and talk to an alum who runs an engineering company in the area or a construction company in the area, the one thing they always say is, turn out more graduates. We can't get enough of your graduates. We want more of them. So our students are very much sought after. Well, what else does our program offer? Well, I already mentioned the smart, diverse, and engaged student body. Again, that's kind of key. But there's a wealth of opportunities that we offer to enrich your education. We have all sorts of honors programs. The one that appeals most to engineers is the Gemstone program, which is a 4-year honors program in which teams of students complete a group thesis that they present in their senior year. Many of the faculty in civil and environmental engineering have been faculty mentors to Gemstone teams. I myself have done this. It's very rewarding. We have a lot of student organizations. We have a student chapter of the American Society of Civil Engineers, the major professional organization for the field, the Chi Epsilon Honor Society, Engineers Without Borders, which is a big draw, not just from engineering, but all across campus. We at Maryland have one of the most active student Engineers Without Borders chapters in the country, and we're typically running 5 or 6 international projects at the same time. All sorts of smaller organizations, Women in Engineering, Black Engineer Society, Society of Hispanic and Professional Engineers, and many others. And many of these organizations engage in competitions. With ASCE, there's the annual Concrete Canoe and Steel Bridge competitions. Here within the Clark School, a particular favorite is the Alumni Cup, where groups of students from each department over a span of 5 days build a Rube Goldberg kind of contraption for doing something simple, like sharpening a pencil, but taking 20 steps to do it. And then less frequently, about every 5 years or so, we will enter a team in the International Solar Decathlon competition to build an energy efficient house that is environmentally sound and et cetera. And in the last time that Maryland entered, our team won first in the US and second internationally. So very competitive teams here. Last thing is the opportunity to research with faculty. A lot of students like to do this. A lot of faculty like to have undergraduates in their laboratories. I've had undergraduates in my pavement materials laboratory over many years and many projects. Our environmental engineering faculty in particular take on many undergraduates to work in their laboratories. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to get out and get engaged in some of the cutting edge work that's going on in civil and environmental engineering. There's also a lot of job opportunities in civil engineering and in this region in particular. All of our students have engineering internships over the summer, and many of them have multiple over the course of their 4 years. And the notion of an unpaid internship doesn't exist in engineering. Civil engineering has the second highest graduation rate, employment rate upon graduation. We're second only to electrical and computer engineering in the Clark School, which typically nudges us out by 1 or 2 percentage points each year. And there's all sorts of things that you can do with your degree once you graduate here. You can go into a consulting engineering firm, you can go to work for a contractor, you can go to work for a government agency. Some of our people do things completely different. Some go to work for management consulting companies. Accenture is one of the largest employers of Clark School graduates. Management consulting companies like the way engineers break down problems and solve them. And whether it's a building structure or a management structure, the process of solving the problem involves the same steps. And some of our, obviously some of our students go on to graduate school in civil engineering. Some of them go off to places like law school. I know several people who went off to law school and specialized in intellectual property law, which is a great combination with civil engineering. So there's all kinds of things you can do with your civil engineering degree that you would get here at Maryland. So how do you know whether civil engineering, civil and environmental engineering is right for you? Well, ask yourself these questions. Do you want to work on problems that have direct and significant benefit to society? Because that is what civil engineers do. Do you enjoy working in multidisciplinary teams? You're not going to be working alone in a cubicle just doing calculations all day long. You're going to be going out and meeting with other, engineering subdisciplines who are doing the mechanical systems, the electrical systems, the HVAC systems. You may be dealing with the contractor on the job site. You may be dealing with the owner's representative, maybe dealing with the architects for the project. There's all sorts of interactions that you get involved with on most projects, including the public. Increasingly, civil engineering projects require some sort of public approval and public hearings process, and civil engineers now get involved with that. As I was just describing, you get varied work environments. Sometimes you're going to be in the office. Sometimes you're going to be out on the job site. Sometimes you're going to be meeting with the client. So you're not just going to be sitting in one place all day long. You get a lot of variety in your work environment. Is job satisfaction important to you? There have been numerous surveys of the engineering disciplines that have found that civil engineers report the highest level of job satisfaction. Do you want a steady career that can't be outsourced? So much of what civil engineers do is project oriented, and the need to go out and visit the project and talk with the people who are out on the project site really can't be sent overseas. It's something that has to be done here locally. And lastly, would you like to start your own business someday? Do you have an entrepreneurial urge? Civil engineering has among the highest rate of small business startups of any of the engineering disciplines. We have numerous alumni here from our program who have gone on and started up their own companies that are anywhere from 40, 50, 60 employees up to one of our alums started up a specialty concrete restoration business that now employs thousands of people scattered all around the world. Great opportunities here. So I hope that what I've said in this short presentation have resonated with you a little bit and gotten you engaged in our program. I hope to see some of you back on campus this spring for one of our admitted students open houses. And then subsequent to that, I hope to see you back on campus in the fall enrolled in our program. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure to talk to you.